It's always something. Okay. What's up, YouTube? It's Autumn. I just struggled really, really, really bad. Just coming to y'all with a story time about Isaac when he had his GTube surgery in the hospital. Obviously, we're home now. We are so blessed to be home, so happy to be home. Thank you, everybody, for your prayers and your good luck, all that. So, my hair is not ideal, cute, but you know what? Whatever. 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 So, here we go. Isaac had to get GTube surgery. So, let's start months ago. So, Isaac, like I said, he doesn't really like to eat by mouth. Like, he kind of just pulls away. And we figured that because he had something called a swallow study done, which is basically like it's an x-ray, but what it does is it records how milk and fluids and stuff like that is getting down into his system. And apparently he was aspirating it into his lungs. So that can cause pneumonia, that can cause just badness. So he has been losing weight over time because of that. So he needed a GTube. Now he had a doctor's appointment and she was just like, you know, Autumn, I think it's time for him to get a GTube. I've tried so hard to get him to eat, but that was him probably telling me, you know, like, I can't do it anymore. And I'm glad that we did do it because it could have really been bad. So he got the GTube, and I'm skipping like bad, but yeah. So she's like, Autumn, he needs a GTube. So we go. Oh no, scratch that. Okay. She tells us that Isaac needs a GTube. Well, she tells me that Isaac needs a GTube, and I'm like, okay. She says that she's gonna admit us to the hospital, and we have to go through the emergency way. But she was just like, it's not an emergency, you know, they'll be ready for you tomorrow, blah, 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 blah. We were like, okay, cool. She was just like, you know, yeah, tonight you can just prepare yourself and just get ready and stuff like that. And I was like, okay, thank you. I'm sorry. We get to the hospital the next day, probably like noonish, maybe like really early noon. And they're like, what? They don't understand what's going on. They were just like, we didn't get a phone call from the doctor. We don't know anything. So I have to go like walk. Okay, so when you walk into the emergency room, there's like two ways. There's like the entrance where you know you have stuff appointments already made, and then there's the emergency entrance where it's just like you just go in. So I went through the entrance where the appointment was already made because he was getting admitted for the hospital. And they just didn't know, so we had to go through the emergency one and go through all the it was just an emergency, and it was like, are you serious? Like, he's getting admitted. So like we wait a little bit longer after they start to see, like after triage season, and then we go to a room, like a waiting, like it's our room, but it's an emergency waiting room for us, like, you know. So we're in there for like 3 hours until they're like, okay, we're just waiting. I thought I saw a spider. Until they're like, okay, we're just gonna wait because the hospital's full right now. We don't have any beds. And so I'm like, are you serious? So we had to wait there, like I said, 3 hours. And once we get upstairs, like, I'm a bad storyteller. Let's just put that out. I'm a really bad storyteller. It's not like just be forgetting stuff. So I'm gonna try my best to tell this as best as I thing was to get admitted, you know, probably sit there for a day and then have surgery the next day. You know what I mean? The surgery didn't happen until like damn near a week later, you know? So we went in there, and turns out we went there for the surgery, but there's 10 things wrong with him now. So it's like he's got his seizures, and then he's got just basically it's the seizures that was wrong with him that caused other things I'm not going to go into. But first, before the surgery, we had to figure out, you know, how we're going to maintain the seizures, like just stop him. And it's just like he had to get at least 4 EEGs. Like, I kid you not, he had to get like 24-hour EEGs. They kept putting them on him, and then he had an EEG the same day we even left. So we had to stop the seizures, and that took a while. That took us, it just took forever. Like, they kept taking blood. Like, it was just horrible. horrible. Like, yeah, it was horrible because it was just like, now we have to wait for the surgery, and I didn't know how long that was going to take. And then taking blood, speaking of taking things, they took so much blood for him, like his little fingers. First and foremost, I didn't know that seizure patients had to have an IV in at all times. I didn't know that. So I was just kind of like, why do y'all have an IV in him and y'all not taking blood out that way? How come y'all doing it from his fingertips? Apparently, you know, seizure patients have to have the IV in, and also not taking blood from the IV because they're small. He's small. And so I'm just not getting that clarification today, but at the time I was like, bro, like, why are y'all doing this? I was so irritated because they were poking at my baby like every single 30 minutes. Like, stop poking him. He's just a baby. Stop. And of course I didn't tell him to stop, but I really wanted to tell him, like, stop. Isaac's a really good kid. He didn't cry or anything like that on top of his lungs, but he was irritated. And yeah, so they did that, and he like had bruises everywhere from IVs and them poking at him, and the tape and all that other stuff. Like, even, okay, another thing with the IV, his foot, like, they put it in his foot and it went bad. The IV went bad and his whole arm was just swollen. Now, first and foremost, there were students that did it, but the students, they did it right because the head nurse was in there with them, but I guess Isaac was just moving and stuff afterwards to where it wasn't right. So that sucks because his poor little arm was swollen when they did that. Like, it was so swollen, and his foot, like, that IV was on there for so long that it was raw. Like, it was hurting him raw, and I was just like, oh my goodness. So bless his heart, he is so strong because he got poked the whole time. He was uncomfortable the whole time. I didn't even know that the IV was going wrong. I don't know. And he just dealt with it. Bless his heart, he just dealt with it. It's frustrating because they kept pushing it back. So obviously we got the seizures under control, but seizures are under control now. So now it's time for the surgery. Okay, so they pushed the surgery back. Even when we got the seizures under control, they were like, we're gonna push it back because the surgeon, she didn't have like the OR time, so she had to make time for Isaac's surgery, even though he was admitted for the surgery. And so I don't understand everything that happens in the medical field. I don't know what goes on, but from my point, I was just like, are you serious? So we had to wait for that. I'm stressed out, freaking out. And so his surgery goes well, and it's just, he is so fussy. Like, he cried, and it broke my heart. And I was just like, you know, why is he crying? Did y'all give him any medicine? They were like, yeah, we gave him Tylenol. I was like, Tylenol? He just had surgery. And y'all gonna give him Tylenol? Like, what would you do if you had surgery and all they gave you was Tylenol? So apparently, like, the nurse, she looked at him and was like, yeah, he's in pain. Like, yeah, he's in pain. So they gave him a little bit more severe pain medicine. But anyway, yeah. So I had some friends come up there. A lot of friends, like, some people asked about Isaac, and so that was sweet. Came up there time and time to see him, but it was getting to the point where I was just like, I really want to be alone right now. Like, I want to be alone right now. And and then it was just I was like, I appreciate, and I never told anybody I wanted to be alone or anything like that, because it's not about me, it's about Isaac. And if they want to see Isaac, they can. I'm not gonna stop anybody from seeing him. But it's just like, I was tired of repeating myself to everybody, and I was tired of everybody getting mad if I didn't tell them something. Like, I'm sorry, I just had to explain myself to 30 doctors, and then explain myself to 15 other people, and then I'm sorry I forgot about the other 15 people. So I was just like, I'm sorry, but I forget, I get overwhelmed, there's so much going on. Like, I literally felt like I have the weight of the world, not on my shoulders, but inside of my head. Like, oh my goodness, I just could not. So yeah, it was definitely hard. Like, it was so hard. It was so hard. And I had plenty of breakdowns. Like, I found myself on top of the parking garage roof crying because I was just like, I cannot. I felt like I was trapped in a walnut, like, and everybody was just picking at me, and it was just like, nobody was picking at me. It's all for the best. Like, it's all for Isaac, but I was just like, oh my goodness, like I just want to blow away with the wind at this point. Like I just feel so defeated. I felt horrible. The surgery went well, but I just felt bad. Like, and it felt so much. And I know that I'm not a bad parent for Isaac losing weight, because I did try to get him to eat as much as I can. And I know that there wasn't, like, it was just something that had to be done. I'm glad that everything is over. I'm glad that we're home. I'm glad that I know certain things, because there was misunderstandings about my son's health, and that was really frustrating, because that was just, I mean, self-explanatory of why it would be frustrating. It's just something that was really tough on me. My hair, baby, like, girl. These ain't even curls no more, girl. What to do with them? What? Who? Don't wear your hair like this unless it's professionally curled, girl. I don't know. How y'all think my hair look? Because I never curl it. I never do nothing like this to my hair. Like, yeah. Say what's up, YouTube. Say what's up. I feel good. So, yeah, he got a bath last night. It wasn't a bath because it was like, you know, don't put him in water, blah, blah, blah. So basically I just put him in his tub, and then I washed him up like he was a newborn or something. What? You okay? Yep, and then the GTube is really, really small too, so it's not like... But the GTube is... Look at his face. So the GTube itself is not really big at all. Like, it comes with a part that can be disconnected, and I'm just gonna lift him up real quick as easily as possible, because he is irritated, as you can see. I really kind of want to leave him like this, but I'm gonna show y'all what the GTube like looks like with him having clothes on, so see if y'all can realize that it's there or not. But he's doing good. Obviously he's just kind of like just kind of it's like say hi everybody. But yeah, let me go ahead and lift him up, because he's like, you can't tell that he has it on. It looks so bright. So yep, say yep. And but what it does do, like, it itches him because it's healing. He cries when it itches, like, he cries. So what I did was I just put some gauze like around the GTube, because sometimes it kind of drains. So this is what the GTube looks like, and this is what, like, I kind of just take it off like a button, and you put this. If you stop moving, please. Good, just like that. I just put some gauze right there, because when it drains and it dries up, and I don't, like, if I don't notice that it drains and it dries up, then it starts to itch him, and he thinks that's uncomfortable. Obviously it is, so he starts to cry. And this little thing that he does, I always get questions on this. He just, it self-soothes him. So he doesn't take a pacifier, like, he just won't. I tried to get him to take a pacifier in his early months, and he even, like, breastfed, and I tried to get him to take a pacifier, and he just doesn't jig with him. He's just like, nope, this ain't my gym. I ain't trying to do none of that. Like, nope, I got my own. Yeah, that was our hospital stay. It was messy, just like this video. Like, the hospital stay was messy. Nothing was organized whatsoever. And that was, it was organized was the doctors communicating. You know what I mean? Like, at least they could communicate to tell me that, you know, the surgery wasn't going to be this, and the surgery wasn't going to be this, and all this stuff like that. Like, at least they was able to communicate with me and tell me. But y'all need to get it together. Like, don't tell somebody that they're going to have a surgery this day, and then they're going to be discharged 2 days later. Like, it's a hospital. I know that it's not going to happen, but don't give me the hopes that, because you're a doctor, you know what I mean? Like, I had to tell him, I was like, I'd rather y'all just not tell me anything at all until y'all know. And I tried to make that sound as polite as possible, but that's irritating. And so was the discharging too. Like, when we was being discharged. They were like, okay, so you're gonna get discharged on Friday. Psych. And so they were just like, well, blah 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 blah, we'll just discharge you on Monday, because I don't know about the weekend. Like, I was just like, are you serious? And then the doctors that was looking at him, that was really irritating too, because the doctors that was in his care wasn't even there over the weekend. Like, y'all keep us here for what? But he's in the care, like he was in the care that they needed. I'm happy that he was able to just recover how he's supposed to and nothing else happened. So I'm just grateful for that. Say hi. Say hi. Put that hand up. We are blessed, grateful, happy, everything to be home. We are so happy to. Yeah. You want to show everybody your GTube? Say, yeah, I want to show. But yeah, so that was my video. Put in the comments, like I be telling y'all, let me know something, and nobody ever does. Like, don't let me know something. Just hit subscribe. What? You know what the next video should be, like a mommy morning routine, or y'all can ask me questions. I could do a Q&A, or I'm just gonna be posting whatever. So yeah, bye. You're not gonna look. So this also too, a lot of people ask like why he does this a lot. So Isaac has trouble breathing when he's like just like this. He has something like a flap in his airway, and so it opens up his airway when he goes like that. But like when he's more so like this, it's a lot harder for him to breathe. Now he can breathe. Look at him side-eyeing. What? He can. Isaac, now he can breathe. So throughout the recovery process, that was really irritating, because you know it was already bad enough. I can't get sleep, and then they come in like there was this rude nurse. Like, she was so rude, and I don't know if she noticed that she was being rude or not, but she was just so nasty. Like, first and foremost, it's 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. I already can't sleep, and I'm trying to get as much sleep as I can. She comes in, she turns on the light, she kicks the little, you know, I don't know if y'all know it. I'll like let y'all see it. But she kicks the thing that's holding up the she was just kicking it around, trying to move it or whatever. Like, she was kicking the stuff the bags that hold the bags. I'm bad explaining, but she kicked it, and I'm like, and then she starts talking on the phone. First and foremost, you violating the HIPAA, because you're not talking about my child. She probably thinks I'm asleep. No, I'm not sleeping. I can hear you. I can see you. I can do all that. And then she starts to get frustrated with Isaac, because his like the cords, all the connects and stuff like that was getting tangled. Like, first of all, they're going to get tangled because he's a baby. He moves. He tries to flip around and stuff like that. He's uncomfortable. And then I heard her like talking under her voice and getting frustrated. She's like, Jesus Christ, like all these cords you got wrapped around you. And I'm just like, you're getting mad at a 1-year-old because there's cords wrapped around his foot. And like, why are you mad? And so that was really frustrating for her to just be nasty like that. And then she brought somebody in to do something. I don't know if they were taking blood. Like, I don't know what they did. But this man, like, he was so loud. Like, that's just annoying. That's so disrespectful to me. For you to come in the hospital, come in my room, come in my son's room, and talk all out. Like, it irritated the life out of me. I was just like, oh my God, I'm just ready to go. On top of that, I had to keep wearing the same clothes, these same clothes. I did not go home. I probably went home one time, and that was to help out a friend, but I had to wear the same clothes, and luckily they had like a washer and dryer hookup and stuff like that. But that sucked the first few days, because I was trying to wash my laundry, and they were like, yeah, it's out of order. And I'm like, oh my God, like, I don't want to smell. I don't want to be in this hospital. I hate that. Like, can you imagine being in there all day, and then like you just want to take a shower, put on clean clothes and stuff, and it's like you have to wear the same nasty clothes. And it was just, I was so upset. So it only was out of order for a day, so it was just a day I had to wear the same clothes, which I don't like that. Like, I just don't like, my curls definitely died down. And then it was Thunder over Louisville. Wow. Me and some friends planned on going to Thunder over Louisville but something happened, and then it started raining. So if anybody don't live in Louisville, Thunder Over Louisville is just like, it's just fireworks. It's fireworks, and everybody likes to see the fireworks, but we was too late. We didn't see the fireworks, so I really, really, really wanted to see them though. Like, I really wanted to see them though. Like, I for real did, and I didn't. So that sucked. On top of that, I was hungry most of the time. I had to spend money that I do not have. Obviously, I had to spend money on like restaurant food, and like I actually had to spend money on hospital food. What? Like, they fed me when, like, but they stopped when they noticed that Isaac's diet, like, of course I was eating the food because Isaac was on Pediasure, like he was on milk. But then they started bringing it like mystery meat and stuff like that. It's like, I can eat it. Yeah, I'm gonna, like, I'll try to eat it, but what's the point eating it if it's gonna come back up? Like, if I don't like it, if I'm not enjoying it, I'm not gonna eat it. Like, just not. And I was cranky and hungry, and so I had to spend that money on food. And the hospital food that I did spend money on, that was at a different hospital. Like, I had to cross the pedway to go to that hospital. So, and then the food trucks outside was so expensive, so I was just like, I'm starving. Literally spent Easter in there. Like, at this point, Isaac is recovered. I know how to work the GTube, all that stuff. Like, I know how to work the machine. They've been teaching me the machine and stuff, and I'll get into that. So at this point, it's just like, I'm ready to go. Isaac's ready to go. Like, there's no point of us even here anymore. Like, the seizure stopped, the GTube is in, and I know how to work it. Why are we still here? And the doctor made it clear, like, we just want to look at him for a couple more days, make sure he gained weight. And I'm just like, I understand that, but it's already been 48 hours since the surgery. Like, y'all told me that he just had to stay 48 hours afterwards, which I appreciate them wanting to look more into it, so I'm not even going to sound like a brat about that. But it was irritating because it was just like, I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go. The first priority. But I am a single mother, and I have so much other things to worry about. And now that Isaac is healthy, and I don't want to make it sound like he's not none of my concern, because he definitely is. It's my son. But now that he's healthy and I know that he's got the surgery in and he's recovering perfectly, I have to get home so I can take care of other things now. And they were just like, whatever. So we ended up staying some more. And then on Easter, we were alone on Easter there. I mean, my mom came and brought him an Easter basket. And then my best friend's mom came up there, and she sat up there with me, and we just talked for a while. I heard something. People came in every 30, 45 minutes. And I understand y'all trying to make it, like, better, or not y'all, but I understand, like, the hospital was trying to make it better, make us feel more comfortable. But, baby, knock on the door every 30 minutes to make sure we're okay is not comfortable. Like, if I need something myself, to know where it is and stuff like that. And I was just getting to the point, like, I was trying my best not to be rude to anybody, because now it's just to the point, it's like, okay, no, let's get out. Like, get out. Just, that's all I wanted, was to be alone in there, because, come on. And so, yeah. But the hospital was sweet enough. They have volunteers and stuff, and they brought Easter basket after Easter basket. After Easter basket. Like, it was probably about 3 of them. And there were some nice baskets. Like, some of them had candy, some of them had, like, coloring books and flashcards and stuff like that. They really saved me some money because I wasn't able to go Easter shopping or nothing. Then my mom brings him his Easter basket and stuff like that, so that was sweet. And was having a blast. Like, I got in here, turned on Alexa,